Deadpool and Wolverine, the third film in the Deadpool series, the latest film in the X-Men franchise, and the first X-Men film to be set in the MCU has come out. This was one of my most anticipated movies of the year, if not the most. I was really hyped for it. So, did it live up to the expectations or did it falter? Here's my review. Starting with the positives, this film is a whole lot of fun. I think this is one of the most hilarious MCU movies. Wade Wilson, Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds has completely become this character. Every single scene that he is in, it is hilarious, it has heart, and there is a certain charm to the character. There are multiple versions of Deadpool in the film. I think that's not a spoiler, but the main Deadpool that we follow, he has an arc in the story. It makes sense in the context of where we have seen him before, and this is balanced out really well by Hugh Jackman returning to the role of Wolverine. This is a different version of Wolverine from the ones that we saw in the Fox X-Men films. This is a broken down version of Logan from a different alternate universe where he has made some mistakes and he is now reluctant to be a hero, be an X-Men. So he has a very compelling arc in the film, and the two of them balance each other out. Wade and Logan have a dynamic which is really strong, and the best scenes in the film are the two of them interacting with each other. And this goes hand in hand with the action scenes. There is a lot of action, there is a lot of gnarly sequences in the film, and most of them feature Deadpool and Wolverine going at it, and they are exactly what you expect from the film. It is like a comic book brought to life. I think that's the best way to describe the film, a comic book brought to life. The multiverse features heavily in the film. Deadpool and Wolverine just going at it. There are no holds barred. And since both of the characters can regenerate, you have some really efficient, creative ways that they fight in. There is one particular scene inside a car towards the middle of the film, and it is one of the most entertaining sequences in the whole film. Speaking of entertaining, the main cheer-worthy moments in the film come from all the multiversal cameos. There are a host of appearances, cameo appearances from characters in the film. I will not spoil any of them. I think this is the film that Multiverse of Madness should have been like. Because this does the cameos, but it does not do them as one-off things. It is like the characters actually matter in the story. They affect, they are important, and that's the biggest strength of the film, that it gives 100% to what it wants to do. It wants to be an entertaining film. It wants to be an adventure with Deadpool and Wolverine as our leads, and it does that. I also really liked how the TVA were integrated into the story. It makes sense in the plot, and I really like the acting from the entire cast. Obviously, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are great as ever, but you also have Matthew McFadden and Emma Corrin giving their all to the roles that they are given. And the final thing that I would like to mention here is that this is very much a tribute to the Fox era of films, the early 2000s Marvel films, which jump started what we have as the MCU today. During the credits, there is a very heartfelt moment, like something happens, something plays during the credits which is really heartfelt. So if you are a long time Marvel fan, if you know about the Fox X-Men films, the behind the scenes, there is a lot of stuff going on, a lot of dialogues, a lot of characters, a lot of Easter eggs that make it very wholesome and add to the fun of it. So those are the positives. I do have a couple of negatives. This film is not perfect. There are some flaws. So, speaking of the negatives, the biggest negative here is that while the film itself is very entertaining, the storyline feels very lackluster. Like there is something lacking. Halfway through the film, I remember saying to my friend that this feels like something is missing, and that's what you will feel throughout the runtime. Like the story is not as compelling as it wants to be. This is a very fairly straightforward plot that the film has. By the end, it kind of feels very inconsequential to the overarching MCU story. Like, this feels like a filler side storyline with the characters of Deadpool and Wolverine. You have fun, but it adds nothing to the overall MCU. So the story is very simple, inconsequential, and there are hardly any stakes. And adding to this, the villains are very lackluster. The acting is really good, but the villains themselves leave no mark on you. Like, they have paper thin plots, and the execution is very lackluster. Their motivations are very coincidental, but it is a very entertaining film. If you want to watch this film, I would definitely recommend it. I would give this a straight up 8 out of 10. It is a lot of fun, and I would suggest that you go watch it in the biggest screen possible. So that was my review. Do tell me in the comments if you have watched the film, what your thoughts are. Please keep it little non-spoilery down in the comments. And if you are putting any spoilers, please give a disclaimer before you put the spoilers for people who have not watched it yet. So that's it for today. If you like the video, do like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos like this. Thank you.